Whenever ready.
Yeah, we're good.
So where do you want me this time?
Over near the camera.
Over here now.
In the corridor. Perfect spot. Never mind.
Right.
Just step on it.
Yeah, we're recording, so.
We're recording. Okay. Well, probably the first question is, what was it like working with a Dalek?
Oh, well, I have to say, well, I was very excited. I mean, it's like, first of all, to get offered to be in Doctor Who is a big thing now. Anybody who's anybody is now, like, asked to be in the show. It's a big cult thing. It's a big sort of show to be in the UK. So that's the first plus. The second plus, to be in an episode with the Daleks is like, double bubble, really. Fantastic. Very exciting.
It was, you're also in Doc Martin with Leela from Doctor Who.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. She was in an episode or 2 or 3 playing the mother of Caroline Katz, I believe, who is in the show. I can't get over how well it's received here. I mean, I've been in Sydney and Brisbane recently doing little cons there, and the amount of people who come up to me now in the street. Mind you, their age is interesting. It's all about 55 to 60. I have to say that's the demographic for that. So it's kind of cool. But no, I'm thrilled about the research. And a lot of people come to us in England, in Port Isaac, where the show is made, and they say, I've travelled all the way from Australia to see where you make the show. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that myself.
Yeah.
I remember watching the first episode back here in 1964.
Wow,
I
goodness
watched
me.
here.
Right.
And I was about 7 or 8 or something, sitting in front of the screen thinking,
Oh, you're a big fan of Doctor Who, right?
yeah, so I've watched every episode.
Oh, wow.
The
You're one of the
original.
real geeks then,
Yes,
in that case.
when
Yeah,
it
well,
was-
I meet them all the time.
Yeah.
I have to say, I meet them all over the time, all over the world, the geeks that know, who could do mastermind on the show, who could answer every question there is about various shows. Cool.
Yeah, probably, yes.
Yep.
And my daughter and I were actually big Star Trek fans.
Oh, right.
We actually went to a Star Trek convention in Sydney some years back.
Right.
We were into the last 10 contestants in the quiz show,
Oh, that's very good.
and they pulled a dirty on us.
Oh,
Who was the Australian in every Star Trek episode of Next Generation? Who was the Australian? It was the tropical fish in Captain Picard's
oh,
box.
that's terrible.
That's dirty little that.
Oh, that's awful. That's really bad.
Yeah, so...
And then you fell at that fence,
we
did
fell
you?
at that fence, yeah. There were
Oh,
last
that's
10.
not good. That's pretty horrible.
So,
Yeah.
yes, we were quite proud of that, but anyway.
Yeah, I actually worked with Patrick Stewart on a show. It was a Christmas Carol that we did. I played Fezziwig, and he was the man himself on a Christmas Carol.
Because
Nice
he does
guy.
that every year, doesn't he? Christmas
He
Carol?
does what he tends to do is a stage show of it, a one-man show that he does from time to time. But that is played every Christmas. That one is played on BBC television or ITV every Christmas. That Christmas Carol. No, it's become a cultural thing now. You have to have it.
Yeah, well, going back to Louise Jameson,
Yeah.
Leela, I think she made the comment that one of her best episodes was with the Daleks. She'd been looking forward to it, and actually was a bit nervous about working with the Dalek.
I tell you, one of the things about it is to say that on the actual day when Matt Smith, the doctor who was in the show with me, had to attack the Dalek, there were two items that he attacked it with. One was a wrench, and it was a metal wrench, which you can see quite clear as a metal wrench. And the other one was a rubber wrench, because when you hit the Dalek, you had to have something a little soft, otherwise you break the whole thing together. And I remember he got the two mixed up, and you could hear from inside the Dalek itself this little voice going, "No, don't hit so hard, don't hit so hard," as it was the actual operator inside the Dalek. And these operators have been going for years now. I mean, one of them, Barnaby, I think, is he works for Big Finish Productions, the people that do all the audio stuff, and I think it was him that was inside saying, "No, don't hit me, don't hit me." And he quickly threw the wrench to the ground.
So they've still got people inside them.
We've still got people inside them, and it's surprising in all in all the high tech that you now have, it is the most Heath Robertson kit to move these Daleks. They're still padding around on their feet inside. It's like ridiculous, trying to find their marks on the floor. It's like, it really is an old-fashioned way of getting. They've now got a sort of, robot-controlled turning of their heads and stuff like, but still they pad around on their feet. It's like really, really stuff, and and the lights go. They have a special They have a special way of signaling when they want to go to the bathroom too, which is the lights go to a certain way to tell them that can they come out and go and have a pee.
Interesting to watch a Dalek go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
As a kid, I always wanted to build a Dalek, but I could start doing a table.
Do you know what? Every convention I turn up, they are big deals now. They've got their own Daleks that they've built and they tour around the conventions with. It's really a big deal of all the Daleks they build.
I wonder if they don't sell them.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
What got you into acting?
Sorry?
What got you into acting?
I suppose really it was the only thing I could do. I suppose, I have to say, I look back on the people who come into the profession who are very, very bright and struggle. And I think to myself, you know what, I've had a really lucky time of doing this because I couldn't do anything else. And I've been really fortunate. So the first time I got on the stage, I heard people laugh. And it was that one thing, it was the drug. It was an absolute drug. Hearing people laugh made me want to do it more and more and more. And that was, and I think the school reports that came in that said Ian would do much better if he wasn't such a buffoon. And it was the buffoon character that went and, that I took on into theatre and beyond that made a success of it. So yeah, it was that.
Some of my reports.
What was on your reports then?
Oh yeah, he's always making a fool of himself and always.
Oh, it was a similar thing, was it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And then I went on did theatre at university and.
Oh right.
And that sort of thing. And, yes,
And do you
I know
work a lot as
exactly
an
what you
actor
mean.
still? Do you work a lot as an actor still yourself?
No, I did it at university
All right.
only.
And you didn't do-
Got a real job, so to speak. And now I'm
Okay.
sort of going back into it now.
Into acting?
I'd like to, but it's
All
not
right.
the interviewing and the filming. And
All right,
things.
all right, right.
Yeah, I've forgotten my question. Oh, what role would you like to play that you've never had the opportunity?
To the next one. It's always the next one. It's the one that comes along. I have to say, no one always, as an actor, you never lose that fear and dread that the phone is going to stop ringing. So that is.
Favourite character you'd like to play?
Do you know what? I haven't. I mean, I am so fortunate that I can, on one hand, I can play a newsreader in Rome. I can play I can play that. I can play a plumber, restaurateur in Doc Martin. I can play Winston Churchill, a character. I can play a Nazi in Conspiracy, and Valkyrie. I can play another Nazi in that. And so it really is a myriad of characters and professions that I'm able to portray. And so that, to me, is the biggest deal that I can do, that I've been offered anything, or I've never been typecast into one specific role, which has been great.
You never want to be typecast.
No.
Whatever comes along.
That's,
Going back to your comment on Rome, they say that set was very realistic.
oh, it was huge. They built that set on the back lot of Chin City, or whatever it's called. It was actually Rome. We were on the back lot of where they did the Gangs of New York with Martin Scorsese. They were still there, those sets, but it was on the back lot. I still can't get over the fact that they actually went to Rome to make Rome, because there were so many producers from HBO that turned up on that. I'm sure that's why we only did 2 seasons, because it was so expensive flying all the HBO executives into Rome, where they were there for a week, staying in 5-star hotels and eating pasta and having a wonderful time. And I'm sure that's why it got cancelled, because it cost so much money. But I asked a producer, one of many producers who were on the set, and I said, "Why are you making it in Rome?" And he said, "The light is so good." Yeah, but it's costing you a friggin' fortune, the light. This light is, you can get light anywhere, surely with, so anyway, Great shame, because it could have gone on, and it could have gone, if they'd handled it right and they'd done it, less expensive, it could have gone on and on.
Well, it was a tremendous series. Where to for you from here?
Back
Whatever
to
comes along.
whatever comes along, but definitely going back to London after. No, I got some more conventions. I got one in Orlando. I got another one in Long Island, and then the press junket for Doc Martin for America will be in Boston in November. So I'm going to go and do that. But I think with any luck we're going to make some more of that. So that'll be the 7th series of that. And there's some fun and games with my character which I can't leak out just yet, but watch that space. Something happens to him. There's something interesting that happens to him this season that you're going to get soon, so look out for that.
Because the actor who played Doc Martin actually appeared in Doctor Who back
He
in
did.
the 80s.
You're absolutely right. Martin Clunes was in Doc Martin himself, it's true. But Gary Russell, I believe, is coming to Australia himself, the writer of the show, and the producer is going to be here doing stuff. So he's here as well at the moment, I think.
And I also heard you nearly got a role in Game of Thrones.
No, I actually was in it.
Oh, right.
I was in it. I did the pilot of Game of Thrones, which took me to Morocco, and then my agent rang me and said they're recasting the girl, Daenerys, right, the blonde in it. They're recasting that. I said, oh, so we're going to have to redo it all? She said, yeah. So watch this space. We're going to have to wait and see when you're going to have to redo it. And then a little while later, she said, Ian, she said, sit down. I said, why have I got to sit down? She said, I got a little bad news for you. I said, what's that? She said, well, not only are they recasting the girl, they're recasting your character too. And I went, really? So they're firing me from Game of Thrones? And she says, well, they've done the pilot. So, okay. So it hadn't happened before in my life. So I actually emailed the producer, same producer, Frank Dolger, who'd done Conspiracy, who'd done Rome, was now on Game of Thrones, who got me into it in the first place. I said, Frank, what's happened? Why are they going in another direction with my character? He said, that they're going, they're thinking about that character being Asian. So I went, okay. And then I read about, a month later, I read in the press, very, very nicely put, that they said, due to scheduling difficulties, they put in, due to scheduling difficulties, Ian McNeice's character, I can't even pronounce the name, will be played by Roger Allam. And I went, okay, all right, that's fine. So I rang my friend, Frank Dolger, I said, Frank, I said, Asian? Roger Allam is the same as me, for Christ's sake. What's going on here? And he put the phone down, so, So that was my little entree into Game of Thrones. At least I made the pilot.
You did, yes.
And I got a nice costume. And I got to Morocco. So what more could you do?
Well, that's true, yes. Okay.
You done? You happy?
I think we are.
Good.
Oh, when are you coming back to Doctor Who?
Oh, yes, that's the big question. Hopefully soon.
Yes.
Like to do more. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.